The two characters, Anushka and Dawa, will show up as stick figures in some parts of the video. This girl with an A will be Anushka, and this boy with a D will be Dawa. Easy, right? A is a girl, D is a boy. Now, let's rewind for a second. To be exact, let's go back to 17 years ago. This is when Anushka was born into a family of 3, and she, as the only child, is loved dearly by her parents. Dawa was born 9 years ago. Just like Anushka, he is born into a loving and caring family. However, being born in the same city, Anushka and Dawa have really different family backgrounds. They come from different parts of the caste system. You might ask, wait a second, what is the caste system? Well, the caste system essentially divides individuals in the society into different categories. In the case of Nepal, 4. Imagine the society being as a pyramid, which means that some people are going to be at the top and some be at the bottom. The Brahmin, who are essentially priests and scholars, are located at the top of this power hierarchy. They're followed by the Kshatriyas, the soldiers and warriors. Then there are the Vaishyas, who are merchants and farmers. At the bottom of the caste system are the Sudriya, the workers. Now, Anushka comes from a Brahmin family, while Dawa comes from a Sudra family. The issue with the caste system is that the division is permanent. It goes on forever. Therefore, the power division in the Nepali society is rather solidified, and that does not help the development of the society. Therefore, in 1962, a law was passed, making caste discrimination illegal. Essentially, the law forbids people to be discriminated in institutions like schools and workplaces because of their castes, which is their family background. And now you might ask, okay, if it's illegal already, doesn't it make your entire social justice project a joke? Why is it still a social justice topic? Well, remember Anushka and Dawa? Their story continues. Let's fast forward to 10 years ago, and Anushka is ready for elementary school. Her parents, both being professors at one of the best Nepali universities, were a little lost that their baby girl is going to school. However, they know the importance of a good education. Therefore, they sent Anushka to the best elementary school. After elementary school and middle school, Anushka continues to international school, which is also the best high school within the region. Dawa, 3 years ago, was also at the age of starting school. There is one thing that wasn't mentioned. Dawa is the youngest of 4 children. His parents, both being workers, were already having difficulties raising and feeding all of their kids, not to mention the insanely high tuition for private schools. However, they know how important education is. Therefore, Dawa's parents took an alternative. They sent him to a monastery. Dawa would have the standard school courses such as math and grammar, but with a primary focus on Buddhism scripture. Why? Because it's a monastery. 3 years later, Dawa is still at the monastery, learning how to be a monk. He's not really sure if he's actually going to be a monk for the rest of his life, but he got no other option of continuing his studies other than remaining in the monastery because of the high tuitions of schools. Plus, wrestling with the other monks is fun. And this takes us back to here, the little monk playing his ukulele in front of a monastery. Anushka and Dawa are not only 2 individual cases, they represent greater statistics in the nation. The first part has to do with income. Let's use a pie chart to explain. Here's a pie, and this pie represents the total wealth of the nation. Now, this pie of wealth is being cut and divided among the 4 castes. The Brahmin, the priests and scholars, get this much of the pie. To be exact, 94% of the nation's wealth. And this one slice of a pie needs to be divided among the other three castes. So of course, the Sudras, the workers, they don't just get this entire slice. This is how much they get. The pie crusts. 2% of the nation's wealth is in the hands of the Sudras. Another important part of statistics is related to rate of education. This watermelon right here represents the total amount of Nepalese who have an undergraduate degree or above. We know the drill. Let's divide this watermelon up. And of course, the Brahmin gets the most. 73.8% of Nepalese who have college degrees or above belong to the Brahmins. The Sudras, they don't get this slice, or even this slice. They get the watermelon skin, because only 2.9% of people who have high educations come from the Sudras castes. Now, some of you might ask, okay, I see what's happening and it's really unfortunate, but this is happening in Nepal. Why is it relevant to us? Remember our pie and watermelon? Well, these kinds of uneven divisions of pies and watermelons, meaning societal resources, are happening around the world. Each of this pie and watermelon represents a country where uneven distribution of societal resources are happening. And these are a lot of pies and watermelons. It has become a human issue how the uneven distribution of wealth has led to extreme disparities of educational resources. This topic also relates to the Catholic social teaching themes. Children like Dawa are essentially deprived of their options to choose just because of their family background, something that they themselves have no control of. Therefore, disparities of educational resources is a social injustice because all children should be given the option of learning. And there you have it, the stories of Dawa and Anushka. They start from the same origin, birth, and they're lucky enough to have parents who love and care for them. However, the path they start to take are very different. Dawa has been spending all of his school years in the same monastery. He basically doesn't have much room to choose because of the financial status of his family. Therefore, education for him is really just a dead end. Anushka, on the other hand, had been going to the best schools for all her life. She has the freedom to choose, and therefore, education for her means unlimited opportunities. Essentially, the only difference between Dawa and Anushka is their family background, something that they cannot choose, which lead to distinct education experiences. On this one road of education, Dawa and Anushka have two different paths, and they themselves don't really get a say in this.